Hey guys, we are back with our physics fundas, and the topic today we guys are going to discuss is some basic concepts of linear motion. One can say that some words that you may need to know while learning or while knowing motion, in particular whether it is linear motion or whether it is planar motion or whether it is a 3D motion. You need to know few fundamental words which will be helpful for you. The point of view will be different whether it is linear motion, whether it is planar motion or 3D motion, but the basic definition will remain same. That is the whole concept. So let us discuss first of all that with one example or one illustration. Let us assume that a person is standing at a point A and he wants to move to a point B. So while discussing the motion, you need to define 2 points. That is the first thing that in any motion is compulsory. You need to decide 2 points between which an object is moving. Correct? Because motion is nothing but change in its position with respect to time. So there must be two positions. So here we have observed first position as A, second position as a B. Or we can, in general, we are considering that as the initial position, and that is the final position. So let us assume that a person travels from point A to B within certain time. Let us assume that here it was 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. and here it was 12:15 p.m. So we also define something called time, initial time, final time. It is initial time, it is final time. In general, what we guys are going to do is we are considering the starting point as a zero. We are going to assume that. Maybe it is not, but we are going to assume that the initial point will be zero. So we can easily justify our further calculations. For the sake of simplicity only, we are assuming that. You can also consider that if you find that it is not zero, or if you want to say that as a x1, initial position as x1 and final position as x2, it is also fine. Very good. So these are the few concepts that you need to know before defining the motion. After defining this particular or after deciding few things, what you need to know is another word that is called distance. Now, what do we mean by distance? The path covered by the object during motion. Path covered by the object during the motion will be considered as a distance. So here what is distance? Here initially it was at a point x1 and finally it reaches to point x2. So the distance covered is going to be x2 minus x1. Suppose or if we are considering that the distance between 2 points is nothing but 10 meters. So here x2 minus x1 may lead to 10 meter only. Correct? That is the whole concept of the distance. Fine. Now what do we mean? What do we need? Why do we need to define something called time? Here we have considered that that time is nothing but 15 minutes. 12 p.m. to 12:15 p.m. So the time interval here, what we get is t2 minus t1, and that is nothing but 15 minutes. So one can say that From these concepts, rigorous concepts, one can simply define something called speed. What is speed? Or in particular definition, if we are defining the speed, what do we mean by speed is nothing but the distance covered within a unit time. Distance covered within a unit time. Sorry, my bad. Within a unit time will be considered as a speed. So we can say that speed is nothing but distance divided by time. So here we had a distance covered as 10 meters and it is 15 minutes, but as we all know, minutes should be converted into seconds, standard definitions or standard units. When we are dealing with science, we need to know that the standard unit for distance is nothing but meter. For distance it is meter, and for time it is second. SI units we are generally considering them as a. So that must be converted into minutes. So 15 into 60, unit is 60 seconds. So it is nothing but 900 seconds. So one can say that 10 divided by 900 meters per second is nothing but the speed of that particular object while moving from point A to point B within this particular time period with this particular initial positions and final. So this whole concept of the linear motion includes three basic terms, that is distance, time interval and speed. So thank you very much guys. We will move on to the next point in the next video. Thank you very much guys again for watching. Keep learning, keep loving physics. Bye bye.